Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So if you remember the step-by-step leaf propagation, so this is how they tend to look like this is the part 4, and you can see now the pups are much more visible compared to what it was earlier. I will put the image on the right hand side and you will be able to see how they are doing. So now of course I haven't misted any of the leaves. We had just done one of the bottom watering and now you can see the soil is completely dry, which means that we have to do another watering. We do not want to keep the potting mix completely bone dry because they are very small. They require a little bit more frequent watering as compared to our adult succulents. But nevertheless, the pups look of a good size. They are starting to pick up on their growth. Again, as I said, the growth rate is going to be slightly faster because one, it's a very easy succulent. It's Graptovaria titubans. They tend to propagate a little bit faster. Apart from that, they are in their growing season during the winters. So the growth rate is going to be a little bit more faster compared to other succulents. So the pups look really good. I feel that this one might have 2 heads, or I would say they would have 2 pups on one leaf. A lot of time that happens over here as well. You can see there could be 2 pups. So a lot of times some of the leaf propagations might put out 2 pups or 3 pups depending upon the leaf. So I will quickly go ahead and water it. I'm going to go with the same method, and that is bottom watering, because this is the safest method. The water does not come in contact with the leaves and it becomes very easy to water them. So I'm just going to leave them for some time until the upper layer of soil tends to get wet. You can see the soil is light brown in color, but very soon it will start turning darker. When the entire soil turns dark on the upper surface, it means that we are completed with the bottom watering. So that's all about it, guys. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is just let them be in this tray for at least 10 minutes so that all of the soil is completely soaked with water and the roots can absorb that water. However, the pup is still attached to the mother leaf, so it is taking nutrients and water from the mother leaf. But the main reason why we are watering is so that the roots can get stronger, the roots can get pulled into the soil. When we tend to do bottom watering, the water tends to enter from beneath, so it becomes very easy for the roots to navigate between the soil. So as you can see, it's already started the process. You can see the color has already started to change. I'll quickly do a time lapse. So we are done with the watering. You can see the soil is completely wet and all the excess water is going to come out. But I'll also do another step. Now I don't have any mealybugs on them right now, but as you know, as a precaution, I tend to do this. So I'm going to sprinkle some dry cinnamon powder. This is just a precaution, even though I don't see any mealybugs, but just to keep them safe, because once the mealybugs start to come up, it becomes very difficult to get rid of them, especially when they tend to hide in between the new leaves, and it's very difficult to clear them off. So I will be sprinkling some dry cinnamon powder around because the soil is wet, so it is going to stick onto the soil. Otherwise, usually on dry soil, the cinnamon powder can easily fly off. So we are done. So that's all about it, guys. Now again, the rate of pups have increased. I'm quite happy with it. Even the roots, so here you'll be able to see the roots. They have started to enter into the soil, and pretty much all the roots. You can see this one as well, the pink one over here and over here as well. They have started to enter into the soil. Now again, I keep getting these questions that some of the people, they don't have success with pups. A lot of times only the roots appear and they stay on for a very long time. At times only the pups come up and it takes a very long time for the roots to appear. There is nothing much we can do from our end apart from just waiting. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we can't do much about it. We just have to leave it on their own. Now, everyone has a very different theory towards it. A lot of people say that if you're going to expose it to more light, that is when the roots and the pups will appear. Or some people say that if you're going to give more watering, that is when the roots will appear or the pup will appear. I'm not very sure about this, so I can't talk about it. All I know that I just keep it aside, and it doesn't work. I give the same amount of indirect bright light for all of my leaf propagation. So I'm not very sure if light plays an important role. Light definitely plays an important role, and it does not let your propagation stretch. Otherwise, a lot of times if the light is low, then the pups will stretch. So I'm not very sure if that tends to help in promoting more roots or more pups. I'm not very sure about that, so I can't talk about it. But in general, I can say if you are going to give balanced watering, if you are going to give the proper amount of indirect bright light, the succulents will do quite well. But when it comes to producing pups or producing the roots, this completely depends upon the leaf propagation. We can't do much about it. It all depends upon nature and the type of succulent that you are propagating. So this was one that I have started. So I think all the water has drained out. And this is another propagation that I just started yesterday. I had taken out the leaves. Now probably this leaf, you can see it has got it is not plucked out properly. I'm not very sure if that is going to propagate, but let's just keep it aside. We are not very sure. At times they might get propagated, at times they might not, but majority of them have a very clean cut. Again, it's placed on dry soil. This looks a little bit dark, but it is not wet. It is just cocoa peat, a little bit darker in color. That's why it looks like that. But again, I have kept it in the same place where I kept these. It's kept in indirect bright light, no direct sunlight, no watering, because there are no pups. We have just pulled it out last night, so we have to let it callus. Then we have to wait for the roots to appear. Only then we will start watering it. So I'm slowly starting to collect some more leaves, because as I said, I'm going to be doing a mass propagation. So once the entire table is full, I will definitely show you the entire setup. Right now I'm still selecting certain succulents, because I have to hydrate the succulent before taking the leaves out for propagation, because that's the most important thing, that every leaf should be well hydrated before you use it for propagation. So probably it will take at least 3 to 4 weeks for me to set up the entire table, and once that table is completely set up, I will definitely show you an update video on that. So that's all for it today, guys. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.